Now there's a huge sigh of relief this afternoon here in San Diego. Crews have the upper hand on a brush fire that started this morning in Rancho Bernardo.
Yeah, it gave everyone a big scare as it did threaten homes and businesses. This happened near Bernardo Center Drive and Camino Del Norte. Our Steve Price has more on that.
Yeah, he found out about how a drone caused problems during the height of the firefight. But let's start our team coverage with Alex Cheney and the panic the fire caused when people were told they had to get out.
Those evacuation orders came in quick, Anna and Carlo. They got out, affected lots of parents. Some schools in the area had to close down as well. Now, full containment. There are no more active flames. Also, all the evacuation orders have been lifted. And also, San Diego police told me that Camino Del Norte is going to be opening up pretty soon here. But it was a mad dash to evacuate this morning. I caught up with a few people, and here's what they had to say. An early morning fire prompted evacuation orders throughout Rancho Bernardo. One man who had to evacuate was trying to contact his daughter who was in school during the fire.
I know she worries about me, and I'm worried about her, but right now I can't get there, so they won't let us go up towards that area. So that's concerning to me because she gets out soon and she's not going to see me yet.
We saw one woman running home during the evacuation to check on her home and find out if her sons are okay.
One of my neighbors called me, said there is a fire, and I just run. And my sons go to the school here. They said the school is safe, but I'm going to get up my stuff and then pick up my son and leave. I'm not going to try.
Another man said he had no time to pack up.
No, this time it was too quick. He said, get out. So we got the dog and ran. That was it. Just cleaning up after breakfast. A neighbour knocked on the door and said, there's smoke behind your house. And then 2 minutes later, there were firemen at the door saying, get out.
Right. And a woman had to get her mother into the car before evacuating.
My sister called me and she said to evacuate, so I logged on the Watch app. I don't normally hear fires around here. Yeah, but I mean, it is scary. My mom was prepared, though.
Good. Fire captains told me that most of these units are going to be rolling out pretty soon, but they will leave some hand crews here overnight. This just underscores the importance of all these fire weather warnings, and be ready to go if those evacuation orders end up in your neighborhood. Okay, so now we're going to go to Steve Price. He has more on a drone that was in the area of this fire today that caused some problems. Steve?
And Alex, let me set up why this is such a big deal. These are tough conditions out here. A lot of hills, thick brush, not easy for the firefighters to get in. In fact, the fire basically out right now, but as you can see behind me, there is still a line of fire trucks here on Camino del Norte. Part of the reason why the wind is starting to pick up again, and they are concerned that an ember could reignite and they could have another fire. What really helped them, though, the airdrops that they actually had to stop in the middle of the fire because someone was flying a drone.
When that happens, our air resources can't go and effectively fight that area. We actually move them away. I believe it was one of the LA fires actually had a drone hit one of the super scoopers. So it could actually take a plane out of the air or a helicopter because of where they're flying.
So imagine the scene there, right? You've got flames coming toward homes. You've got over 2,000 people who were forced to evacuate in seconds because they were scared they were going to lose their home. They had 300 first responders here on the scene, all trying to get people out safely, making sure kids at a daycare were okay, making sure that the homes were safe. They had structure protection going on. And then all of that has to stop because somebody flew a drone in the area. We've said this multiple times on fires. If you have a drone, please stay out of the area. Not only is it illegal, but you can cause death if you hit a aircraft and it falls out of the sky, and you can cause the fire to get worse because they have to clear all the crews out of here. But as I mentioned, they got very lucky this time. No structures were threatened, or no structures were damaged in this. Without question, those airdrops made a big difference.
Having the airplanes overhead, giving us good situational awareness, dropping the retardant and the water, it was absolutely key to the success of this. And then having our crews go in and reinforce everything made this a very successful incident.
I got to be honest, though, the fire crews, they're exhausted. I mean, they had a fire in Poway a couple of days ago. They had Fashion Valley area yesterday. They have this one here today. A lot of them went up to LA to help with those fires, and now here we go with the possibility of Santa Ana winds continuing. So they are very tired, but I'll tell you, they are doing one heck of a job. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Yeah, it's wild how busy they are right now, Steve. So is there any way they can track down who had that drone? Did it come down? What happened about that?
They are looking to figure out exactly who had that drone. The good news is whoever it was got the message and got it out of there. But they did have to ground those planes for a good 20 minutes right as this fire was really going. I should also mention that there was one person who sustained burns and had to be taken to UCSD Burn Center. That person did not evacuate right away. So once again, that warning from firefighters, if we tell you to get out, please get out.
And Steve, forgive me if I missed this, but I imagine a lot of people right around there really jumpy. We know that the witch fire blew basically through that area of, what was it, 17 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah, without question, when anybody smells smoke, Carl, quite frankly, not just here in the Rancho Bernardo area, but I mean, all throughout San Diego, Scripps Ranch. When we were in Kearny Mesa at our building, we could smell those fires as well. We've all seen what can happen when these fires get going. Kudos to these fire crews. We've learned a lot of lessons over the years, especially when it comes to those drops. And fortunately, so far, so good this year.
Yeah, we've learned a lot of lessons. And after watching everybody in LA, Steve, thank you so much. After watching everybody in LA scrambling, trying to get their things, not able to get their things, people are becoming a lot more quick on the draw.
Hopefully
to get
being
to
really
home.
proactive right now and are going to be in a good situation.
Well, right now, more than 8,000 SDG&E customers are without power. It was cut to try and prevent a major wildfire.
And that number is actually down from almost 16,000 last night, dropping by the hour, so that's some good news. Meantime, Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis is here with the latest on our fire danger. And Carlene, after listening to you a little while ago, I'm thinking that those numbers of power outages may go back up again in the next few days.
I think so, especially when you're talking about gusts up to 85 miles per hour. We are far from done when it comes to fire weather concerns and those strong gusts and dry conditions. So there have been some changes when it comes to our alerts. We are now looking at the red flag warning all the way until Friday morning. That's going to be at 10 a.m. The most intense winds are throughout the day on Thursday, in a particular time period as well for most of the day. We'll get to that coming up. You're also talking about the low humidity values. It's very dry out there. Most areas into the teens and single digits. We're looking at gusts upwards of about 30 to 45 miles per hour. Some of those winds starting to pick up, but more pronounced throughout tomorrow. Also talking about those gusts up to 85 miles per hour. Sustained wind speeds will be 30 to 45 miles per hour. We cannot stress this enough. Have an evacuation plan in place. We've been seeing spots where fires have been breaking out over the past few days, and we are not in the clear just yet. So we are going to be looking at more conditions over the next day or so as they take us early into Friday morning, talking about fire weather concerns. They're going to be here in our county and across Southern California as a whole. As mentioned, we have the continuation of the red flag warning all the way until 10 a.m. on Friday morning. Also talking about some low humidity values down to about 5 to 10%. But now added to that, we are anticipating strong winds yet again across the inland valleys as well as the mountains. That's with gusts upwards of 85 miles per hour, most gusts around 60 to 75 miles per hour for a 12-hour period starting at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So we will continue to monitor the situation when it comes to these Santa Ana winds and the big change up in our forecast by the weekend.